Casey Dunleavy, started Lock 32 almost 5 years ago now.
So how did you get started with Lock 32? What got you into brewing beer?
I feel like Lock 32 is a classic case of beer lovers, beer nerds that started talking, and it started as a casual conversation, and then it was, well, this could be kind of fun, and then let's meet once in a while and just kind of talk about it over some drinks and an excuse to have some drinks, and then it turned into, we might have something here, let's meet more often, and then before you know it, it's, well, let's meet, every night for however long, and before you know it, we're like all in. It was totally like an organic growth that happened quicker than we thought. But just buddies having drinks, talking about it, sharing our passion, and saying it would be kind of fun to do our own thing and put our own spin on it.
Where did the Lock 32 brand come from?
Yeah, so Lock 32 actually is named after the still active lock here in Pittsford. We were trying to come up with, at the time, it's one of the hardest things you do when you're thinking about it. We were trying to get something that would resonate locally, but also would just be an arbitrary cool name and brand when you get outside of the area as well. So it's one of those insider names where people from Pittsford, know right away, oh, Lock 32, I used to sing the Canal song growing up. And then anybody that's from outside the area, it's a great conversation piece where, hey, where does that name come from? And then you talk about the history of the Erie Canal and how the lock systems are still used. And it really allowed us to tell our story, really, and allow people to ask for the story without even understanding that's what they're gonna get when they ask about the name.
Good. What makes a good beer?
So for me, the best part about beer is you like what you like. So you can talk to an IPA person that loves IPAs and they'll stay away from the stouts and the porters. You'll have a stout and porter drinker that can't stand IPA. So for me, rather than focus on what makes a single good beer, I think it's the lineup of beers. It's the approachableness of all of your beers. So what we try really hard here to do is, if you are a hophead, we've got a beer for you. If you like a darker beer, we've got a stout on that's nitro. We can really hit those groups. But also, if you're just a casual beer drinker that happens to be in the area that maybe is even a little intimidated by the craft beer, you can come in here and we teach our staff and train our staff to be pretty educated, and we can find a beer for you. So me personally with my loves, I like a good sessionable IPA. But then if you talk to me as the fall comes and the leaves start changing, I get a little bit darker in the palate. But yeah, so for me, it's everything here is approachable and friendly. So this is our breakfast IPA. Not bacon and eggs, that's what everybody always asks. So it's a sessionable IPA. The breakfast part comes, it's low in alcohol, and we also have some flaked oats in here as well. So that's kind of where the breakfast play comes from. But it's a very hop-forward beer without being bitter. So it's very friendly. Hop flavor and hop bitterness are two very different things, and it's a good way to talk to people too and say, here's the difference. None of this bitterness is going to linger on your palate. It's just going to be a nice, refreshing, flavorful beer that you can not have for breakfast, but
I was going to say, truly the breakfast of champions.
True enough. So this is our Erie Canal Pumpkin Ale, 2 E's, so Erie plays on the Halloween a little bit. This beer was, in my opinion, one of the best beers that our brewmaster Phil has done. It was one of his first seasonals that he did. It is a very well-balanced pumpkin ale. So there's some cinnamon, some ginger, some nutmeg, some flaked oats for the body. And basically what Phil did, which is kind of neat, he, instead of studying pumpkin beers, he actually looked at pumpkin pie recipes. So not only to get the ingredients, but to check out the percentage and the base within those ingredients and to see how they all play with each other. So once he got that ratio right, he incorporated it into this beer, and there is some pumpkin, it's the spices, but it's not spice overload. It's a beer first with a good complement of fall spices as you drink it, and it's been very well received. It's our 3rd year now doing it, and it's probably one of the best-selling seasonals that we have.
It really is.
Cool.
You guys are good at this. Very good at this.
I haven't even had this yet this year.